What's going on, guys? Ryan Bertolo here at the Crypto Fiend Studios, bringing you guys the hottest, the latest, and everything crypto related news. Today I have a very exciting video for you guys. I had the opportunity to sit down with the co-founder and managing director David Martin at Powerledger. In this interview, it completely changed my outlook on Powerledger and how they're so passionate about changing the world for the better, as well as the future potential Powerledger really has on the blockchain. So I hope you guys enjoy this interview, and I will catch you in the next. What's going on, guys? Ryan here, and in today's video we have a very awesome person with us. We are here with David Martin, the co-founder and managing director of Powerledger. How are you doing today, David?
I'm really well, mate. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. It is an absolute honor to be having an interview with you right now, but a lot of people have been really passionate and optimistic about Powerledger, so I'm happy to be here and answering some people's questions that people might have for you. So
I'm really grateful for the opportunity.
yeah. So personally, with me, I know a lot of investors that are very optimistic and passionate about Powerledger, but they might not know so much as they think they do. They might not know the core fundamentals of what Powerledger is really trying to do as a company and what their future goals are. So in a little bit of an elevator pitch, could you explain to us what Powerledger is and what they're trying to achieve?
Okay, well, Powerledger is a peer-to-peer energy trading business that uses the power of the blockchain to create an immutable, secure, autonomous, cheap, and fast record of transactions for energy between consumers. So as more and more people install rooftop solar panels, as there's more distributed energy resources being installed on distribution networks, we're hoping to create the right economic environment that allows consumers, mums and dads, individuals to benefit from their excess energy and to support their local community through the creation of low carbon and low cost energy.
Okay, that's an awesome elevator pitch. Now, before we go any further into Powerledger, I want to know a little bit about yourself, because I'm sure a lot of people don't really ask personally. So what is your role as the co-founder and the managing director of Powerledger? What do you do?
So my role is as managing director, so I'm responsible for the day-to-day operations of the business. But my involvement, I guess, in the formation of Powerledger is I'm the energy guy. So I'm not the blockchain guy. I'm the guy who came from the energy side of the equation. And my experience in energy goes back about 20 years. And in the most recent times, working with distributed, regulated network businesses, helping to maintain their relevance as the world changes, as technology changes. And my drive to join Powerledger was to create an environment where electricity networks became trading platforms that encouraged people to install more distributed renewables by giving them the opportunity to monetize their investment by selling it to their neighbors. So my role is really around helping create or identify what the future for energy buying and selling looks like, and position Powerledger to create the right trading space to support that.
So you have a very important role.
Well, you know, there's some incredibly clever people in this business, and I'm amazed every day when I come into the office. So the team extends from you'd expect blockchain developers, UI UX developers, but there's some really clever people in here looking at token economies and looking at things like the emergence of new electricity generating technologies, new regulatory frameworks, new legal frameworks. Constantly amazed by the skill set that we've amassed in the team. It's great.
Yeah, it's always nice to keep learning as you proceed on in your venture. Now, I'm sure a lot of people are curious when it goes into companies in cryptocurrencies, in the blockchain, what goes on the daily in the workspace, in the headquarters of Powerledger?
A lot, and an awful lot. So we're at the moment where we're continuing to build our customer footprint. So there's a lot goes on in the customer acquisition space. Our business development manager is incredibly busy talking to people, not just in Australia now where we're based, but in the US, in India, and Thailand, and other parts of the world where we have projects that are either ongoing or in early stages of development. So we've got the front end of the pipeline in BD, and then there's the challenge of managing all of those new projects. We're running a project sponsored by the federal government in Australia called a Smart Cities project in Fremantle, where we're installing some large-scale storage and fractionalizing that using the blockchain. So there's project management support there and technical network integration work that happens there. The dev team, are taking all the feedback from those project managers and from our interactions with customers to make sure that the platform is continually being tailored to meet the needs of different customer groups in different parts of the world. And now my role increasingly is to have conversations with regulatory groups, both on the energy side of things as well as in the world of taxation and securities management, to help them come to terms with a changing kind of economic environment and developing ways to help manage cryptocurrencies and crypto-based organisations operate in a more clear governance framework.
Yeah, it's nice to see that the whole team is kind of like its own little ecosystem, that you're all working together. Now, I'm sure Power Ledger targeting renewable energy, that you have some competition. How are you guys dealing with the current power providers? Are you having any competition? Are you having any problems or troubles with the current power providers?
I think when we say we're having problems, I think that the challenge for incumbent energy utilities is they've got a lot invested in an old model, and the new model is changing, and they've got limited opportunity to change that. So consumers are the ones that are out there literally changing the face of the energy system around the world. Where we are in Perth, Western Australia, 1 in 4 households has rooftop solar panels. In Adelaide, capital city of South Australia, it's about 1 in 3 people. So consumers are changing physically the way the energy system works, and all of the incumbent utilities are really playing catch up in that regard. So when we say they're struggling or getting resistance, it's a big cognitive step for them. But in the last 12 months or so, we've actually had really good engagement with network businesses and with retailers. We're undertaking a trial with Origin Energy, Australia's largest energy retailer, at the moment, to see how peer-to-peer trading might work as part of a more traditional retail setup. So I think there's been a growing awareness in the last 12 months that the world has changed, and that resistance is useless, and getting on board and trying to identify new ways and means of engaging with customers is the way to go. And so our engagement with those businesses has been really positive.
That's awesome. That's definitely the way it needs to be. We need to definitely move into the renewable energy era. Now, Power Ledger is on the blockchain, so how is Power Ledger utilizing blockchain technology?
So what we have is the solution, I guess, to the we're trying to resolve or provide, is turning an electricity network, either a distribution network, the poles and wires in the street, or the embedded network within an apartment building or a commercial strata development, to turn those networks into a trading platform. So that's the solution we're trying to provide. In order to do that, we need a tool that makes really complex, rapid, and multi-party transactions really simple. And that's the role of the blockchain, to give us the ability to identify the provenance of every kilowatt hour that's generated, who consumed it, where, when, at what price, through what mechanism, and where it was consumed, again, where and by whom, and how did that electricity get there in the first place. The blockchain allows us to identify all of those elements of a transaction, and then in real quick time, because of its immutable nature, tie a financial transaction to the physical transaction.
That is pretty incredible how how accurate it can be with blockchain technology. Now, 2017 was a huge year for cryptocurrencies as a whole. What do you think Power Ledger's biggest accomplishment, in your own opinion, was in 2017?
I think, to be honest, it was the success of our ICO, which we undertook in late August through to early October in 2017,
Hmm.
and that's given us the resources we need to really take Power Ledger to a global position. So that was probably the biggest single thing for us. But the development of the platform, the trials we undertook, the customer acceptance, and the fantastic community of supporters that we developed over the course of 2017, all of those compound to make 2017 a really important year for us. 2018, though, is shaping to be just as important because now that we have a really good war chest of resources to be able to build the platform and take it to a global level, we also feel very strongly the weight of expectation of our supporters and the people who are involved in the Power Ledger token, the Power token. And so not only do we have the capacity and the capability to take our dream further, we also feel we have the responsibility to do that in a really effective way. So 2018, I think, will be another big year for Power Ledger, and it's shaping up that way already with a number of projects that are coming to the fore.
Now, I know it's a little bit of a jump, but 2018 will most likely be over before we know it. What does Power Ledger want to have accomplished by 2019? In 2019, what do you want accomplished?
We want to have our technology available in probably four continents. So we're already working in Asia and Australia. We've got projects underway in development in the US and in Europe. We want to be having a conversation with regulators around how we make peer-to-peer trading a natural part of the energy system. We want autonomous renewable microgrids to be the main feature of how emerging economies in Africa and Asia and India are supplying consumers who up until now have never had access to electricity with access to electricity for the first time. And we want to kind of convince the world and sort of develop the argument that electricity supplies can be 100% renewable now. They can be renewable and they can be owned by the people of the world. It's just we need to change the way that we think about how electricity is bought and sold.
Hmm. Now, one thing I don't think a lot of people understand is how the Power token is really implemented into Power Ledger. So, could you explain that for us? How is the Power Ledger utilized?
So the Power token is a utility token. It grants access to the energy trading system, the ecosystem. So if you're an apartment building or a city office or a network and you want to host a peer-to-peer trading environment on the Power Ledger system, surrendering the Power token to Power Ledger, so not giving it away or not selling it, just surrendering it to Power Ledger to hold in escrow for the period that you've got a trading environment, gives you three things. It gives you access to our software license. It gives you access to a pool of sparks to enable the physical trading of energy. And it gives your customers a prudential guarantee that while as long as the Power tokens that we hold on behalf of the application host and hold in escrow, as long as we've got those, there is a limited guarantee that the value of the energy that they're transacting is going to be secure. So the token itself grants access to the peer-to-peer trading environment for an application host and grants the security to the people who are trading energy in that environment that the value of their transactions is secure.
That is awesome because I definitely think that was a major problem investors had was understanding how the Power Ledger token was utilized other than just being a share of the company or something like that. So that's definitely something awesome to hear and to clarify. Now, I've noticed that Power Ledger has a lot of partners. And I want to know, I saw that you recently partnered with Help Answers in the United States. So that's nice to see that you are moving around. I want to know what main partners are really helping to improve Power Ledger as a company.
We've had some fantastic support from companies around the world. So you mentioned Help Answers. Mark Johnson and his team there have not just the same idea that we have around the future of distributed energy supplies, but they've got a really strong social focus and a social justice focus around making low-cost energy supplies available to as many people as possible, particularly people who don't necessarily have the capacity to play in the emerging energy economy themselves. So Mark and Help Answers responses have been fantastic. In Thailand, our partners BCPG are a really, really forward-thinking renewable energy company that's building renewable microgrids right in the heart of Bangkok and places throughout the rest of Thailand. So they've also been a fantastic support, and they're helping us open up not just the Thailand to peer-to-peer trading, but also help build a conversation with Thailand's SEC around how cryptocurrencies have a role to play in the future in Thailand. In India, a partnership with Tech Mahindra, a really big, well-known, well-regarded company in India, is helping open doors there as well. Having relationships in Australia with companies like Origin also then help to add to the legitimacy of the product that we're selling, because there are big, strong, solid players who have long histories in the industry that are working with us and giving us the benefit of their time, trying to understand our technology and partnering with us to deploy it. So those relationships are really important to us. And at the end of the day, if we want to change the world, if we want to help change the way people buy and sell electricity around the world, it would be madness to think that we could do that on our own without the support of some really strong partners. And the partners that we're working with have been first rate.
That is definitely something that definitely stands out about Power Ledger, is that you are very passionate of what you're trying to do, and you're not just trying to do it on your own by yourself, fighting your competitors. You're working with them to definitely help change the world. So that is definitely awesome to see. Now, back in November, you had some awesome news that the Australian government came out and granted $8 million to a project using blockchain technology that Power Ledger was involved in. Do you think Power Ledger has an advantage that the Australian government is supporting blockchain technology?
I think so. I think it adds to the legitimacy of the technology. It adds to the legitimacy of cryptocurrencies, and the fact that a major government is willing to partner with a company that uses those sorts of technologies. It also adds to the confidence and legitimacy of Power Ledger itself, that we can promote and enter these sorts of conversations and ultimately be awarded grant funding to demonstrate how the technology that we're promoting can change the world. And so the project that you're talking about is the Smart Cities program that's based in Fremantle, which is just down the road from where I am in the office at the moment and where I grew up. And we're able to install large-scale community-owned batteries using the power of the blockchain. We can fractionalize the ownership of those batteries, fractionalize the revenue streams, and demonstrate how consumers and communities can get access to grid-installed energy storage in a way that helps them save money, increases the penetration of their own renewable energy supplies, but also provides a service to the network and to everybody else on the network that can help improve the quality of power supplies and, importantly, the resilience of power supplies. So it's a really important project for us, and one where we're working through the early stages of deployment now, and one we can't wait to get up to our elbows in.
That's awesome. That really is that working right in your hometown. Now, I've noticed that Power Ledger is involved in the Extreme Tech Challenge of 2018. Could you explain to us what that is, why it's so important, and where Power Ledger stands as a contender in that competition?
Yep. So the Extreme Tech Challenge is held every year, and a large number, I don't know the exact number, a large number of new technology startups apply or are nominated for the competition. They've got to demonstrate their technology. A number of finalists are selected for I guess the semi-final that's held in Las Vegas, and that was held in early February this year, and Gemma from our business, our chair, went across to Las Vegas and participated in the pitch competition then. And luckily, we were elected as one of the top 3 in that competition. So the next stage for us is a trip to Necker Island, Sir Richard Branson's Necker Island in the Caribbean, to finish that competition off. The final three pitches go in front of a panel of really experienced technology CEOs, and at the end of the day, one winner will be chosen, and the winner earns the right to have Sir Richard Branson as a business mentor for a
That
period of
is
time.
awesome.
But more importantly, that we get access to the promotion and the profile that comes from being involved in a project that's supported by such a forward-thinking entrepreneur like Sir Richard Branson. So we're looking forward to it. Gemma and I will head across and represent Powerledger on Necker Island, and it's going to be an awesome opportunity for us.
Yeah, that's definitely awesome. Now with Extreme Tech Challenge, is it just tech based? Is there a lot? Do you know if there's a lot of competitors that are involved in the blockchain in cryptocurrencies?
In the top 10, I think there are a couple of blockchain-based companies, but the top three, Powerledger is the only blockchain-based company, and that it's at the pointy end of the competition. But there's some other fantastic technologies. There's some guys who've got AI embedded video cameras and some technology that's based around identifying sort of medical conditions in newborn babies in a really professional way. So there's some amazing technologies in there, and it's just great for us to be included in that sort of company. And we're really looking forward to being able to strut our stuff on the world stage. But it's great being around people like that are really looking to change the world with technology and embracing all of the possibilities that are out there.
And it's nice to see that Powerledger doing this is really just overall helping the growth of blockchain technology, really getting it out there, showing it, getting mass adoption. So that's awesome as well. Now, does Powerledger have any events or roadmap milestones or announcements coming up that token holders should be anticipating?
Yeah, in the next little while, we will have some more projects that we will announce. Some projects in the United States, of all places. It's gotten to a point now with the technology and the platform. We've gotten to a stage where it's being deployed commercially. So, in the early days of the business, it was almost too easy to sign an MOU with a company to sit down and say we're going to trial this sort of stuff. There was nothing binding about those things, and they were all purely exploratory. Now, though, it's a commercial platform, so the conversations we're having are far more detailed. They involve lawyers, of all things, lawyers and accountants. So, and because of that, they need us to adopt more typical kind of corporate behaviours. So, we can't really talk about in detail a lot of the projects until they're signed on the dotted line. But that said, I'm going to be in the United States in March to participate in the CERAWeek conference in Houston, and then from there we'll be involved in some blockchain meetups, hopefully in Houston, in Austin, and if we can arrange it in Chicago. And hopefully on the back of that, there'll be some other announcements that we can talk about at that time around some of the projects we're looking at in the United States. So there's a lot coming up. There's a lot of activity going on behind the scenes, and it's a bit like a duck. We're ideally serene above the water, but paddling like crazy below the water. That's our focus. Make this business as successful as we can, and as you say, build the adoption of blockchain, build the adoption of peer-to-peer energy trading, help change the way the world buys and sells electricity.
And that's what I've definitely noticed with Powerledger. It tends to be that you guys are the company that keeps your head down, you focus on what needs to be done, and you're not really focusing on the competition, trying to compete to be the better power company. So that's what I like to see, is you guys are really just focused and just being the best. Now, having an important team in any company is obviously important. It's practically the core of the company. So what do you think is unique about your team compared to others that gives you an advantage, gives Powerledger an advantage?
It's an amazingly broadly skilled team. So when we formed, the 5 co-founders formed Powerledger, we came in equal measure from the energy side of the equation, from the blockchain development side of the equation, from the token economy contribution as well, energy regulation. So we've got a wonderfully diverse team. There are 2 PhDs in the team and a third on the way. James is completing his PhD now. We have a broad array of cultures. We have Australians and Dutch and Chinese people and Croatian people and Portuguese staff. It's an amazingly diverse workplace. workplace. I think even on a gender basis, we're pretty evenly built now in terms of men and women in the business, and across the age bracket. I'm the old guy in the business, and some of our team, in their early 20s, and so we've got this amazingly diverse team that just clicks really well. Lots of perspectives, the opportunity to voice your opinion at every turn, but while we've got that diverse kind of contribution, there's an almost singular focus on the importance of what we're doing in helping to bring low carbon and low cost energy to people around the world. So, from that diversity, there is a singularity of focus and a really burning passion to make this thing work.
That's awesome that you guys are definitely diversified. Now, as of right now, this is my last question for you. As of right now, what is Powerledger's end goal for the renewable energy market?
What we would love to see is a 100% renewable energy system, and we believe wholeheartedly we can have one if we change the way we think about the way energy's been supplied. So typically the industry looks at large-scale plant, big coal-fired plant, big nuclear plant. And under those sorts of models, there are requirements for physical spinning inertia and all sorts of things to make the system work. But when you chunk it down, when you make it small, when you make it community focused, you can use new technologies like power electronics and renewable generating and generating capacity and storage to actually maintain a really high quality but low carbon and low cost power system. And so when we've got the world kind of convinced that there is possible to have a 100% renewable power system, we'll know that the door really is open for Powerledger to have major success globally.
That's great. Now, for the community, how could the viewers right now get more information on Powerledger and stay up to date on the latest news for Powerledger?
Sure. So we've got a really healthy Telegram group. There's something like 17,000 people in the Telegram group at the moment, and I think I know most of them by name, by handle at least.
Awesome.
But they're really active, and there's people in the Telegram groups who've been there since the first days of our ICO, and so understand the nuances of the business, can answer any question, and the team drop in there as well. Amy's in there all the time. I'm in there quite often. Megan and the other directors drop in periodically. So there's the opportunity through Telegram to engage with us personally. Twitter and Facebook are obvious, but our webpage, which is currently undergoing a website, which is currently undergoing renewal and redevelopment. With a company on the East Coast called Houston, that they are the typical channels that people can stay in touch with us.
Yeah, of course. It's nice you definitely have to have a strong community in this space. Well, Mr. Martin, I greatly appreciate your time coming out and speaking to all of us.
Shouldn't have told you I was old. You wouldn't have called me Mr. Martin.
No, I just think it's the respectful thing to do for you going out of your way to speak to some young guy like myself. But thank you for informing all of us more on Powerledger. You taught me a lot more than I have ever thought I knew about Powerledger, so it's just nice to get a little more information, and I wish your company the best. Maybe we could have another interview in a year from now, see where we're at by then.
That'd be great.
All right.
That'd be fantastic. And look, thank you for your interest, and thanks for bringing us to the attention of your audience. It's been great. Anytime.
All right. No problem. Bye-bye.